What's up everyone? Shark Guy's back once again with another review, and today we are looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Snow Serpent. And while we're at it, we'll compare him to his 4-inch modern counterpart. So, let's crack into it. So the first thing that looks actually really good on this is the card art. They have updated it, of course, and it reflects the different weapon that he comes with, which isn't like his original style AK-47. It's actually Dusty's weapon. So, moving on from there, it's a standard card, everything's in there, so on and so forth. On the back, you have the file card, which is really large in size and takes up most of the card, and that's probably because it has 5 different languages on there. And I don't speak any of the other ones besides English, so we won't go into that. You got the cross cell there. You would have seen that I've already reviewed Beachhead, and if you want to see a review of the eel, go check out my mate Lenny on his channel, Frostbite's G.I. Joe Repro. It's a bit of a mouthful, apologies. But yeah, when you're done here, go and have a look at that. So yeah, legal mumbo jumbo, blah, blah, blah. We ain't here for that. We are here for the toys. So I'm just gonna cut this open. Give me one moment. Now before we look at the figure, I just want to highlight this. So I've just been cutting the bottoms for these. Now it doesn't look perfect, I just use a knife, but it does stop from the card being damaged. But if anyone has another way of opening these retro cards without cutting it like that and it's a bit cleaner, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm always open to new suggestions. So first things first, you get a stand. It is white. It is like all the other Joe stands, but it is white. Boom, that's that done. Now, I'm just going to pull the figure out of his plastic coffin. I've got broken parts from my Naugahyde review sitting here, so I don't want to lose those because Naugahyde's getting sent back to the shop where I bought him from. Now, I digress. Let's have a look at the figure. Start with that awesome face mask, which definitely lends to the original figure. I don't have a vintage figure, but of course I've seen them. But I have the modern version, which is slightly different, but yeah, the aesthetics are pretty close. You've got his nice blue parachute pack. Some fantastic range of movement in those arms. They are not stiff at all. The shoulders, yeah, they're not too shabby. This is nice. This deco on this this textured collar. Got the Cobra logo here. The modern one had the Cobra logo there as well. You got some nice texture here on the wrist. He's actually moving really well, which is great out of the packet. Ab crunch wise, that's restricted obviously. Range of movement in the head, side to side, no problems. Looking up, pretty good. Looking down, pretty good. Love that. Holster here. holster here. Can't get into a full split, but you're not going to really need that anyway, let's be honest. This holster just fell down. Gotta love it when that happens. One of the most annoying aspects of classified collecting is these thigh holsters that fall down when you're posing or moving the figures. Have a look at the back. He looks very warm. I just noticed that. See that there? He's a bit... Yeah, that's not cool. He's a bit loose in the waist there. Look at that. There's like a full gap there. See that? But yeah, his range of movement in the torso is there. Yeah, this might be the way it's designed, I guess, or sorry, manufactured, I should say. Legs. Yep, no restriction there. No restriction there. Ankle rockers. That one is a bit reluctant, but it does move. That one's not too bad either, but it's not great. But yeah, that is the figure. Moving on to the accessories. We get one of the elephants in the room out of the way. And that is the Snowshoes, which are obviously not retro inspired at all. They are exactly what you would find on the Snow Job figure, but his are in black. So if you've got that figure, you know what they're all about. Now, I don't have my Snowshoes attached to this guy because I've got him on a stand. But one thing that is glaringly obvious, which I'll point out now, is, and that's come off there, that's fantastic. You know what, I'm just going to take it off. Is this rocket launching device, which came with the original figure as well, which doesn't come with the retro. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. Probably cost it out, but is obviously worth noting because that is an essential part of this figure. So if they could do it with the 4-inch version, why couldn't they do it with the 6-inch version? Now, look at that. See that? Accessories falling off backpacks is not a new thing at all for Hasbro. And if any of you out there have collected the 4-inch line, you'll know just how fragile some of these are in terms of the parts, the way that the figures hold them, and so on and so forth. Great line, a lot of fun, but yeah, fraught with problematic components. So I'm just going to stick that back on there. Pop them to the side. All right, moving on to the next accessory. How does the noise of this plastic? Awesome, isn't it? Is the backpack, and it has some nice sculpted detail on there, canteens, pouches. It's not a backpack per se, it's more of a rucksack really. 2 canteens for when you get really thirsty out in the snow. It of course doesn't open up or anything like that. It's just one solid piece. It is a nice backpack though, I will say that much. And in terms of the original, well, not the original, sorry. I am dropping stuff left, right, and center. In terms of the modern, how does it stack up? Well, the rocket launcher went on that side. Obviously, there's no attachment for that on this. He's got the 1 pouch here. They've got extra here. 1 pouch there. No canteens. So, there you go. Doesn't look the same at all. He's about to come off this stand, so we're just going to gently place him down. So that is the backpack. I'm just going to get the weapon out next. And that is it. If you have Dusty, you will be familiar with this. The only difference between it And the dusty version is, the dusty version has the brown bipod. But other than that, same damn thing. Now, sure, it's not an AK, but this is actually a nice weapon. I don't mind this weapon. And I think it'll probably look good on him. So let's give it a bash. I'm just gonna quickly chuck it in his hand. Like, that does suit the figure. Is it retro? Well, you know, in some ways, yes. But I know there's people out there who wanted the AK to come with this figure, and they could have obviously packed the one that came with the Cobra Officer and Sergeant Slaughter, or heaven forbid, given us a new one, more true to the original, in grey. So yeah, that's the weapon. Hope everyone's had a good day. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and thank you for checking out the video. And if you're liking what you see, go back and check out my other videos, because I've had 3 other reviews this week, all new stuff, all new Joes. And if you aren't new to the channel and you're watching this again, thank you for just being your awesome self. And thank you to everyone who has recently joined the channel, and everyone who is popping up in the comments section with, you know, a myriad of good things to say, a myriad of interesting things to say, some funny things to say. You know, that's what it's all about. I like the commentary. You know, I want to hear from you guys. So jump in the mentions. If there's something that I do you don't like, freaking tell me about it. I'm not going to jump down your throat. Just let rip. But if you're an asshat, well, that's another story. You know, moving on. A couple more accessories to go. I'm going to do these 2 together because they are identical, and that is his 2 sidearms. And we're just going to go ahead, because there's not much really to look at them. Look, you know, I'll give you a close-up look at one if you really want it. There you go. Wunderbar. So yeah, we're just going to chuck those in here, and they'll fit nice and snug. And if we look at this 4-inch figure, he didn't have, there goes the stand, he didn't have any sidearms. So that is an upgrade for this figure. Is it worth the value of the rocket launcher though? What would you prefer? Let me know in the comments. So that's the sidearms out of the way. Last accessory is the goggles. These goggles do nothing, and they're just going to sit on top of his melon. Oops, I just knocked the camera. I dare say I'll just stretch over there nicely, sit on his head, like so, and very similar in a lot of respects to these ones, except they're black. The lenses do look great though, and you can of course pull them over his eyes if you really desire to do so. I probably won't pose him like that. I'll probably have them up here if they want to sit there. There you go. That is all the accessories. But what I'm going to do now is whack this guy on him, which is a Gridiron Studios weapon that I've purchased. I have a few of them actually. And this is an AK. Now, it's not in grey, but I have a feeling it's going to look quite nice. And if you're a Gridiron Studios fan like I am, make sure, if you haven't already done so, check out the Gridiron loadout videos that I have done, because I will be reviewing more Gridiron stuff in the future. Oops, we just lost a clip. Sorry, magazine. Mental note, it is not a clip, Adam, it is a magazine. Before anyone jumps in here and goes ham on me. Because I know in America you love your guns. Okay, this is not sitting too well because the stock is not going well with his arm. So a little bit of playing around is going to be required here, just bear with me. Alright, so He can't hold this too well. The stock is getting bent and not sitting flush because of the wrist part here. But in black, with the black decos on, you know, the figure, it looks good. Now, I'm just going to change out the magazine for something else, because I think this will also look pretty good. And that is the drum, which I think looks even better. I think I've got that the wrong way around. Hang on. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Tough. Ground stuff's great. I love it. So yeah, that's how he looks with the AK. I'll just throw his stock standard Dusty Special back in here. I am having some issues with him holding the trigger. Getting his finger in the trigger guard. And that again is because of the gauntlet on the wrist. See if I can just show you here. Just gonna flick that around there. See what I mean? It's not easy to really get him to hold the weapon in a firing kind of position like that. And he also struggles to even be able to get his arms across to hold the weapon's second handle. So that's not cool. That's actually pretty crapola. Just look at this. See how easy that is to get this 4-inch figure to hold the gun with two hands, and this 6-inch figure cannot. Look how bent his finger is trying to get it in the trigger guard. It's not even in there properly, and it just pops out. So yeah, that is a design flaw. Now, I don't know if the standard Snow Serpent we received previously has any issues holding its weapons, because I don't own one as yet. And I am getting one because I just wanted to have a couple of these retros and also one of those so I could, you know, have him as the squad leader. But yeah, if it can't hold its weapons, it's not going to be much good, is it? But the figure does stand well, so there is that. Something else I wanted to do, and I know I just said I don't have the deluxe Snow Serpent that we've already had, but I do have these parts because I bought these off a guy thinking I could put them on the retro figure. So let's go and try that out. Let's have a look. It is quite some overkill, and it's not sitting flush because you can see in here, if I take this off, the backpack peg, this is sort of inhibiting it a little bit. Even if I push it on, it will stay on there. Oh, that's better, but yeah, it doesn't look great. I don't know, what do you think? Yeah, it looks a bit naff and unnecessary, but we gave it a bash, so that's that. So we'll just kit him up with everything so you can have one last look before we wrap this up. And voila! There you have him in all his glory. He does look nice, and I do like it, but the weapon is annoying. And the snowshoes, they're really white. Like, compared to the rest of him, they're jarringly white. You might not be able to see it. The lighting in here won't be that great. My filming lamps is dead. But yeah, it's quite a contrast between the paint decos on the actual figure. But you know, that's a small gripe really. But he does look nice. I reckon he probably looks even better without these. See how he stands on his own, unassisted, with all this stuff on. And no problems. He'll look nice on the shelf. Look good in a snow dio. And I think he'll look nicely when paired with the other Snow Serpent. But this, not great. Anyway, folks, that is the Snow Serpent review. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know what I'll be reviewing next, because who knows what's coming down the pipe. Yo-Joe June is just around the corner, and I'm sure that's going to be quite harsh on our wallets. But yeah, let me know if you're going to get this guy. Let me know if you're going to kit him out with different accessories, or weaponry I should say, and so on and so forth. And again, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, turn your bell notifications on so every time I review something, it just drops in your lap. And while you're at it, if you want to share the video, share the video. You can also check me out on Instagram at shark_eyes_pics. Thanks again. Have yourself a crackerjack day. Over and out.